Hi there. In this quick video we are going to be taking a look at this air purifier from AlecoAir, and the model is P15 Kiddo. So quickly let's get into the box. I also bought I don't know, a replacement filter. In theory, the one that's already in should last for about 6 months. So after 6 months, I will be putting this in. And just wanted to have it from the start, a reserve. So this is an antibacterial filter. It has a particular layer on it that actually kills bacteria. So yeah, that's quite okay. If you want to see more info about what it can filter, here it is in English or other languages if that's your thing. And these are the sizes of a few things, and this is what it can actually filter itself. In theory, this is how you replace it. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get rid of this, actually put it aside and not get rid of it, because it will be useful in about 6 months. And now, yes, my daughter just came around, she heard me talking. In theory, I already pre-cut this. It seems I didn't really do a good job at it. So be back in a second, because it will take a bit of time. Take two. Let's open this up. What scares me just a tiny bit is this from the transport itself, because it wasn't packaged in anything else. It was just this box with the shipping label on it. So yeah. Oh, just want to show you the specs. Pause at any time. So on low fan speed we are at below 30 decibels, and at high fan speed below 60. So at high I'm expecting this to be a bit noisy, honestly, seeing that value right there. And consumption at low 6 watts, at maximum 18 watts. This is about the same as other air purifiers that I have from IKEA, but this thing, if it is to compare it with the one from IKEA, it is obviously smarter. It has Wi-Fi, so it has an app that you can connect to your assistants, and it also has, where is it? Come on, right here. UVC, so it can kill bacteria, viruses, fungi, and mold. It also has an ionizing function. So yeah, and active carbon, HEPA filter obviously, and some kind of pre-filter that will catch things that are a bit bigger, so they don't clog out the HEPA filter. Let's again get into the box. It seems it also has a remote. It has a function of night light, touch buttons, 4 speeds, Wi-Fi app, timer, UVC ionization, and 3-in-1 pre-filter, HEPA filter, and carbon filter, which is basically, again, this thingy right here. So for the 100th time, let's get into the box. Quite nice leaflet. I will give it a quick browse after we get this out of here. First thing, tiny remote. So it has UV and ionization on one button, on another button light, it seems, timer and speed, and on off. Okay, simple and to the point. Don't have any issues with that whatsoever. Ooh, I think I bumped this a bit too much. Let's see what we have in here. Presumably the charger, which is, people keep saying chargers, but if you don't have a battery inside of this thing, it's basically not a charger, it's just a power brick. But yeah, the general term is charger for most people. Let's see what kind of power does this thing output. So maximum 18 watts, as you can see here. So at 12 volts, 1.5 amps. For the quality of it, yeah, seems just what I would expect, nothing more, nothing less, zero issues with it whatsoever. Let's get this thingy out of here. Honestly, this, let me move the camera a tiny bit, be back in a second. So yeah, I wanted to say this kind of trash can shape was made popular by Apple, and actually looks nice. So the nice thing about it is that you can put it in the middle of a room. Actually not quite, because on the back of it you do have a few stickers, but in all reality you can peel them off because there's nothing in there that's important enough to remain on this. So again, you can put it on your desk, powered from somewhere, and it can basically be in the middle of the room, and all sides of it look nice. So let's see, we have presumably some sort of warning on top of this, but we are unable to read it because well, it's the text is red and it's put on something that's black, so zero chances of reading it. And geez, this is the strongest glue that I have ever seen onto something that needs to be removed. So remove the filter from the plastic bag before usage. Okay, but this glue could be way weaker. Anyway, not a problem. Let's see, can I figure out how to open this up without opening the instructions? Did I just? Okay, I did. So that's how you open it up. And we have, do you see it in there? Maybe you can see it in there. It's basically a kind of PC fan in there. So is it a 12 centimeters one? Presumably. Let's see, 12 volts ball bearing, it seems it's written on it. It's Air P-L-O-V-E. So that's the manufacturer of the fan that I'm looking in there. Air Plov, 12 volt, 1.2 amp. Okay. Let's get this out of. Okay, so I took a look at this and so it's completely white. Then realized that on this box it seems to be green. So got it out of the box and this one is green. At least the plastic, this layer, the top layer, it seems to be green. So is it just by accident, or is it meant to show that this one is actually antibacterial or antibacterian? I might be saying that wrong, so sorry about that. And this one is not. I'm not sure about that, so I will, maybe the manual will tell us exactly, but I was expecting this to have that type of filter because it's written. Actually, no, my bad. So it doesn't say anything about that. So this filter does not kill bacteria, doesn't have that layer, but this one does have that special layer. So they used green to make a difference between the two. Okay, that makes sense. So I bought the right thing with this. This one doesn't kill bacteria. Anyway, there's that. So easy to get out, easy to put in, foam in here, foam in here, so it's fully sealed. Air must go through this, doesn't have any other way. Feels really sturdy, you can see the active carbon right in there. Pre-filter is this top one that you can actually brush with something when it's full, so big particles will not clog up the internal one. That's why this lasts for 6 months. I really like that. And in here, this plastic, as you can see, really thick. I think it's 3mm thick or something like that. It has these centering ribs for the filter, which is again good. The filter will seal in here and obviously in here. Again, perfect. Air is drawn all around here through these big holes, goes through the filter, and it's blown out through here. So that's the main direction. I'm not really sure exactly where the UV light is, but I'm expecting it to be in here, because that's what would make sense. But we will presumably see that when we operate it, although I hope not to be able to see it really well, because I don't like UV light near my eyes. But a bit of it you might just get a tiny hint of it. Anyway, and we have here a switch. You can hear it. This switch basically tells this thing, hey, I'm open, or I don't have a filter, or something like that. Anyway, top of it, wrong direction. So we have the on-off for the Wi-Fi. Filter needs to be reset after the 6 months timer goes. Then 3 speeds. I think it's the initial speed, then turbo 1, turbo 2, and turbo 3. That's why it has 3 speeds. Timer 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, and in here we can start UVC, presumably ionization, and for the Wi-Fi maybe it's just telling us when it's connected or something like that. Not 100% sure. Anyway, overall, really good materials and good build quality. I like what I see. So, opened up the filter. I don't think it has a top and bottom. From what I see in here, nothing that would tell me it would have, and I don't think there is a reason to have a top and bottom. So as you can see, simply put it in here, self-centering from the ribs, the bottom of the ribs. It's all good. Actually partially self-centering, because honestly, does it need to be any more centered than this? I think this will also help a bit. Something like that. This thing in here, locked in place, rubber fit. Actually nicer rubber fit than they need to be. Everything about this seems to be nicer than it needs to be, and I really like that. So yeah, AlecoAir, good job. Let's see. Plug this in, power it on, read the manual, connect it to the phone, see how the app looks and how noisy this thing is. Okay, so plug this thing in, let's power it on. We are not going to be connecting it to Wi-Fi in this video, so I'm not going to show you the app part of it, because this will be used by my wife at work and she doesn't have a Wi-Fi network there, so this has nothing to connect to. Anyway, so let me show you what the manual has taught me to go. Now we have 2 hours timer, 4 hours timer, 8 hour timer. Now we don't have a timer. At the moment we have UVC and ionization on and night light on. If we hold for 3 seconds, night light is off. Then if we press, also UVC seems to be off. If we press again, ionization is also off. Press again, UVC is on. Press one more time, ionization is also on. So both of them off. Yes, Wi-Fi will keep blinking. Filter reset will get red in about 6 months. And from here, this is the max. And you hear it. But honestly, I think the IKEA one is actually louder at maximum speed. Oh no, this is maximum speed. This is turbo when all of them are on. So it was speed 1, speed 2, speed 3 and turbo. Speed 1. No, at speed 1 you don't hear it at all. At speed 2 you hear it, but if you put it in a corner somewhere, yeah, you ignore it. Let's get it to speed 1 while we are making the video. That's about it. For the remote, remove this plastic and it should directly work. So let's change speed, for example. As you can see, it's changing exactly as I would press the keys. Light, directly you have a button for this. Let me turn off the light and see how much light this actually produces. You can even see the light of the remote. Okay, so in a room, yes, this is enough night light, honestly. I could see myself using this in the girls' room without issues. And at low speed, the lowest one, you can even use it at night. Let's see if I turn off the light. One moment. So, turn off the light and start UVC. Do I see any UV light? Just a tiny bit of it. Do you see it deep in there? So yeah, do not look into this thing from the top while it is working. Sorry, just bumped into the camera. From the sides, just a faint hint of it, but almost nothing. Did I just turn it off? Sorry about that, I turned it off by putting my hand. Not sure if this will show up in camera. Maybe you see something moving, that's UV light. From the top again, you do see a bit of UV light. So yeah, this is really nice. UV, I recommend you put it somewhere in the corner of the room if you are using it on UV, so it's nowhere near close to you, and do not look into it when it's on UV. Really important. Don't hold your hand in here closely to it, it can damage skin. Anyway, let's get through the manual really quickly. Let's turn off the UV anyway. So ionization, both off. Wi-Fi again not covered. Normally you just scan this little code here, download the app, input your Wi-Fi details, connect to your phone and play from there. You can control this remotely even if you are not at home, as long as this is connected to your Wi-Fi, which obviously your Wi-Fi is always on to let this connect even if you are away. For the manual, I always show the manual on video and anybody can pause at any time. In this one I will also highlight a few things, so feel free to pause at any time. You can see we have 254 nanometers, that's the wavelength of the UVC bulb in there, so do not play with it, can cause serious damage. Hope you can see what is in here and you can pause when you need to. Again, warnings about UVC. Keep it away from you, put it in the corner of the room if you use UVC all day long. Okay, more info about this, basically how to use it. Already kind of covered this. It is made for about 15 square meters maximum. As you can see, UVC kind of kills everything. Maybe with UVC you can leave it on overnight when you are not in that room. Just a thought about it. Functions of the remote. But in theory I already showed you everything about this. Power consumptions level power consumption levels depending on what is on and what is not. Weight, so this has 1.6 kilograms and the filter is 0.2. Some more info. I'm just going quickly over them and feel free to pause at any time. Here it's telling you how to connect. This might be important to reset the filter. So on off button for 3-5 seconds to reset the filter. So yeah, to turn it on or off you just tap it. You don't need to hold it like I did the first time. There's no need for holding it. And you can hear my daughters presumably in the background. To change the filter, all the info is right here. And to change the UVC lamp, so you can see it has a lamp, it's not a LED or something. It was that thing poking through the bottom, that black thing right there, when we first opened it up in the middle of the filter. So all the air passing through the filter will also pass next to the lamp itself, which is quite okay. Here it's telling you about the sizes of what it can filter. It kind of not really can filter viruses because they are smaller than what this can hold. So those can only be killed by the UVC lamp. But then again, UVC not good for you if you stare into it or keep it close to your skin. So yeah, there's that. Okay. And I think we have covered everything. Oh, I was already showing you from German, so sorry about that. Wife will be using it at work, remote, and this thing without the app. And feel free to ask me anything about it over the time, but don't ask about the app because we will not be using it. It's, yeah, sadly not possible where she works. So that's about it. What I can see up until now is perfect. Really nice, really good quality. On lower speed, not noisy at all. Higher speed, still more than decent. Yeah, this will not bother me. Our filters in the house are noisier than this. Decent airflow. And yeah, that's about it. Seems to be all good. And yeah, feel free to ask me in the comments how this thing works over time, how my wife is feeling about it over time. But from what I see up until now, highly recommend you get it. It's quite cheap also. So that's about it. Hope to see you in the next video and bye.